Dr. Claude Anderson warned us about this. Oh my goodness. So there is a viral TikTok video of this Latina chick talking boldly and ignorantly of reparations occurring here in California. Now, I hope that anyone who is under the impression of this black and brown coalition, that sentiment has expeditiously dissolved, because there is no such thing. All right. One thing that Dr. Claude Anderson says is that, hey, it's a competition. It's a competition of the races. But the problem is, when it comes to black Americans, that our leaders are all kumbaya and no one else is. As we can see currently in California, when it says, hey, you're with the blacks. And when it comes to reparations or anything benefiting black Americans, you're going to get insane pushback. Why? Because we aren't supposed to be here. They never wanted us here to begin with, outside of slave labor. Nevertheless, talking about this TikTok in regards to reparations, let me just start this off from the jump, okay? Your people came over here illegally to work for 25 cents. My people, my ancestors, were forced over here to work for free. We are not the same. And I mean that respectfully. We are not the same. Don't try and compare your struggles and your history to black Americans, because you're going to fall flat. You're always going to lose that, okay? If you don't like how you're being treated, then leave. Go back to your home country. Go back to your origins, all right? It's as simple as that. If you don't like reparations, I've told people time and time again, leave. This country has a debt, as many debts as it has. If you don't like the debts, the country using your tax dollars, which is not even the case for reparations, but regardless, if you don't like that, then leave. You're more than welcome to renounce your citizenship and vamonos. Simple as that, okay? Comprende? Moving forward, you have this Latina chick talking about, oh, Latinos are 40% of the population and they just want to not work.
Newsom in California wants to hand out $500 billion in reparations.
Over 40% of the population in California is Latino. You're having people who are the object of persecution pay for the reparations of people who just don't want to work.
I don't even know what that means, okay? Oppressed in this country as a Latino. I don't know what that means. If what you mean is that you come here illegally, okay? You break our laws, and then you want to feed off of, as far as my ancestors work here, that's what you mean? As far as by oppress or some type of oppression or whatever you think you're going through? No. And here's the thing. I don't know why you would come here anyway. If it's that bad for y'all, why would you come here anyway? Why don't you go and stay where you are? Stay in your place of origin, Mexico, wherever you're from, and build that up, right? Build up that place, okay? Don't come over here looking for work. You should be able to find work where you came from, right? It doesn't benefit your place of origin. It doesn't benefit your familia, all right? If they still live in poverty, if they still live in dilapidated areas, you should want to build up that place instead of coming over here. Secondly, when it comes to not wanting to work, I don't even know what you're talking about. This is such an ahistorical perspective on history that it's mind-blowing. But once again, I don't expect a lot of people to know black history because they don't care. Now, when it comes to history, black people have always worked. We are working to this day. The only difference is, you want to know what the only difference is? Everyone here was coming here for an American dream, okay? Latinos, the Irish, the Italians, the Japanese, everyone coming here for the American dream. The only difference is, for black Americans, we didn't know what that was. There was no American dream here. You guys were taught, hey, if I work hard, then I can succeed. Black Americans weren't taught that. Do you want to know what we were taught? We were taught that if we work hard, we get nothing, because this country exploited us for our labor and gave us nothing back. They didn't pay us for our labor. This was free labor. That's what it was. It was free labor. You guys were taught, work hard, I get something in return. My ancestors were taught, work hard and you get a beating. Work hard, you get a lashing. Work hard, you barely get any rations, okay? work hard, you get nothing. You get called, next to, less than a freaking bug. All right. You don't even get your humanity recognized, even though you're working hard. So please stop with this white supremacist talking point of not wanting to work. Okay. Because we did work. We've been working and we are still working, or else we wouldn't be here. Okay. We wouldn't be here. All these opportunities that you want to come over here and just work hard for, who do you think they came from? Hi, you're welcome.
California is home to over 11 million immigrants from all over the world, not just Latinos. Immigrants who came here with less than nothing, not being able to speak English, who managed to build their wealth without leeching off of other Americans.
And ironically, that's precisely the point. She wants to talk about building wealth. Black people weren't allowed to build wealth. That's the crazy part. We weren't allowed to build wealth. There was laws in the books prohibiting us. We couldn't even read. I mean, there was laws. I want you to understand, laws saying, hey, you can't read. There was laws talking about where they have as far as in medicine, where they're talking about, hey, if this slave wants to be free, they have an illness. That's what they have. Please miss me with this nonsense, okay? Please miss me with this nonsense, because it seems that your parent could have been, you should get your parent this shirt, okay, for Christmas. It would make a very good Christmas gift. Then she goes on to talk about, hey, there was only 1,500 slaves and they all worked in mining.
Up until 1848, California belonged to Mexico. Slavery ended in 1860. There was only over 1,500 slaves in California and their only job was mining. They didn't build California at all.
What? I don't even know where she gets this number. She just pulls it straight out of her, her U-Haul, okay? That's where she pulls this number and worked in mining. Listen, the funny part is that it actually echoes the point that she was talking about in the first part, which is building wealth. This was during the gold rush, boo-boo. And it wasn't just in mining. It was a variety of domestic places and field. But this was during the gold rush, which they weren't even allowed to partake in. Do you understand? Like chattel slavery. This is what, it's very interesting how I've noticed many of these anti-black races love to give this very diluted take, right? This very diluted and cryptic wording when it comes to black history. Oh, they were immigrants. Oh, it was mining. No, it was chattel slavery. And the crazy part was that in California, they had outlawed slavery, and yet it was still happening. And the reason why is because many of those in positions of power in the legislature came from the South. They had migrated from the South and came here. So when people came, when they were doing slavery, if you have a Southerner as a law enforcement or a Southerner as a judge, they're going to turn a blind eye to slavery because they're pro-slavery. So they were enacting slavery, chattel slavery, even though their state constitution said, hey, slavery is outlawed. I want you to understand that. That's some sick stuff right there. In many cases, in one case actually, there was a lawsuit where free black slaves, freedmen, had been building a business. Okay, it had taken advantage of the gold rush. Guess what happened? Bunch of white men broke into their place and said, "Hey, you have to go back to your owner." These were freedmen. All right, they were freedmen because you want to know why? California was taken a part of the Fugitive Slave Act. That's correct. They were taking part in that. So please miss me with this nonsense of, oh, y'all didn't build this. Oh, you just want free. Oh, you don't know anything about this country. That's why you should probably leave it, to be honest with you, because I take that as a sign of disrespect to me and my ancestry lineage. That's what I take it as. So I would be quiet. But in the case that I'm referring to, guess what happened? Okay? What had happened was after they'd been freed, well, the white guy was like, nah, he reported them as runaways. Now, under the Fugitive Slave Act, you run away, you return back to the owner. Guess what? The slaves hired a lawyer. That was a black lawyer. Black lawyer went to court and lost the case. They lost the case, and those men had to be returned back to the white man. Imagine that. Matter of fact, when it comes to they didn't build anything, do you know anything about Biddy Mason? Like, do you know anything about where you at right now? Biddy Mason, actually, one of the Mormons built, they thrived on slave labor within California, San Bernardino, as a matter of fact, to the point that was flourishing. Okay, it was flourishing. Biddy Mason, upon being free, she actually became a realtor, a philanthropist. She built one of the first schools here in Los Angeles for black kids. That's what she did. It's crazy how these individuals come out from these, these we'll say less than fortunate areas, these less than fortunate states, come over here and then get a big chest about black Americans, right? They get put their nose in the air to black Americans. And then she just goes on to say, we just want to become citizens.
Not to mention that Latinos are part Native American, which they were slaves as well, and massacred at 90% of the population.
What?
This is probably the most ridiculous bill that Democrats have tried to pass. All Latinos want is citizenship and the ability to work in America. Well, you have Americans trying to live off the tax dollars of Latinos who are still persecuted in America to this day.
There is a citizenship process. Don't come here illegally and you won't have to worry about that. It's not that difficult. But I want you to understand, you're breaking the law to this country and then asking us to do you a favor. You're being disrespectful to the people who built this country, and then asking us to do you a favor when it comes to citizenship. This is the most bipolar schizophrenic take that I've heard in quite some time. What I would suggest, black people, is that we start taking notes. We start taking notes. This is not a friend, okay? This is an enemy. That's what this is. And unfortunately, with our leaders have been compromised. We got to get on point. We got to eradicate these individuals, get them out of office, because they are going to be the downfall to us as a people. You have to understand this. This new generation of these other groups, they're not messing around. They're not messing around at all. And as we can see by this ignorant, asinine TikTok video, this girl is boldly speaking just stupidity. Okay, for lack of better words, that's what it is, just stupidity. And it's willful ignorance. However, you have to understand, we're the only group that has such an attack on us. We have attacks from Latino, whites, Asians, and even in some cases our own. We have black Americans they sambos and they put up on TV and they air out. Okay, they tout them. Then we have foreigners coming to the country that are anti-black. We're getting hit at all directions. We need to dot our I's and cross our T's, because this anti-black rhetoric, this anti-black racism is going to go through the roof. And if we're on a rocky foundation, it's going to crumble. Just letting you know. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe Lucas, no, she spoke truth, okay? She was speaking truth. She's very brave. She's brave, okay? That's what she is. Or if you have believed, no, she's actually very ignorant. And it's painful, blissful ignorance. She has no idea what she's talking about, nor she has any respect for the black Americans that got her here, okay? And to say undocumented, Lord, I don't even know what to tell you. Listen, you're a criminal. That's what you are. If you came here illegal, you're a criminal, just like everyone else in the prisons and the jails, okay? You can call it colorful language, undocumented, but you're a criminal. You illegally came here to a country that you had no business being in. If you don't like it, all right, no one's forcing you to stay here like they did with us, okay? We tried to leave. Ask Marcus Garvey. We tried to leave. Fred Hampton. We tried to leave, okay? Nobody worries about you leaving. The only difference is that those who are here, we're not going to do the same work for such minimal pay. That's really the difference. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree with this video, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, which are typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. Oh, that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. Comprende?